So are you saying that I can't participate in public life?
Write to your local MP to be supported of supporting trans people. Did I call Pride disgusting? Yeah, I know, I'm such a terrible person.
I mean, it depends if the kids asked him to perform for them.
Just to spoil it for you, this person not once blames the guy doing it or blames the organisation for allowing this shit to happen.
Are you a biological woman is what the law is asking.
Yes, exactly. So are you a woman?
Hi everybody, Real Woman here. They're calling on the NHS to bring in trans apartheid.
Why am I dancing with that trans person?
Does anyone remember Heather Herbert? I've watched her a bunch of times on my channel. This is what I mostly know Heather Herbert for. So, transgender ex-Labour MSP candidate Heather Herbert defends her decision to share a photo of herself performing a post-surgery dilation exercise in a disabled toilet at Gatwick Airport. A transgender former Labour MSP, that's member of Scottish Parliament in case you don't know, candidate has today defended her decision, blah, 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 blah. Heather Herbert shared the image of herself lying on the floor in Gatwick Airport. She was returning from Scotland to Scotland from London after male-to-female surgery, which she referred to as V-Day on Twitter. Ms. Herbert was a Labour member who stood for the party and voted for Scottish independence, but has now joined the Greens. Wow, amazing. Very original. Claiming Sir Keir Starmer's party took no interest in tackling transphobia among members. She posted an image of herself lying on the floor of a disabled loo at Gatwick Airport doing dilation exercises, which doctors say need to be done daily to promote healing. She said, "Found a disabled toilet. Not the most fun I've had." Earlier she had tweeted, "Dilation, day 2. Dilation, day 2. Let's play. Where in an airport can I locate a clean, dry, private place I can lay down, take my knickers off and spread my legs?" Her tweets led to criticism, including several claiming it was the wrong idea to share it. One critic said, "You should delete it," to which Heather replied, "Why?" Justifying it to another critic, she said she was sharing a photo of how I was forced to perform a medical procedure due to all the other facilities being airside. Hang on, are we ready? Are we emotionally ready? Are we emotionally ready to see the picture? I don't know if we are, but we're going to have to see it. This is the picture in question. I've seen this before and it never gets old. And bear in mind, this person posted this themselves, dilating in a disabled toilet. Anyway. Found a disabled toilet, not the most fun I've had. This was a campaign thing, didn't get elected, unlucky, what a shame. But yeah, that's about all we need to know. So that's this Heather Herbert person. Other greatest hits from hers, she made some kind of tweet saying something like, what the fuck was it? It was like, oh, instead of getting your HRT for like menopausal women, because there was a shortage at one point, instead of getting your HRT from like dodgy sites, you should talk to trans people who can like point you to less dodgy sites or something like that. That didn't go down well. I think it was news articles about that one. She went on, I think it was Talk TV, to defend, you know, the guy in that Minnesota Pride? Yeah, this right here. Heather Herbert went, you can see her here actually. See Heather Herbert right here? Same person. She was defending this shit on fucking Talk TV. And then when all our arguments failed, it was like, oh, well, I don't actually agree that he should have done it anyway. It's like, okay. She runs down the list of arguments. That's what she does. Yeah, there's like kids looking at this fucking guy. Doing this. Can you see? Oh, you can't really see very well. Where my camera just was. Like, this is nasty. This is gross. And this person was fucking defending it.
And if the kids asked him to perform for them.
Did the kids ask him to perform for them?
It depends, doesn't it? I mean, it depends if the kids asked him to perform for them.
Do we think the kids saw this guy in nothing but his underwear and like asked him, oh, can you dance for us? Can you shake your ass and make your cock swing around in your pants for us? Do you think that's what they were doing?
No, come on. That's absolutely ridiculous, Heather. It's absolutely ridiculous.
But just to go back to...
children do not ask grown men to perform sexual acts.
No, Heather, give us a second. Heather, give us a second. Alex made the point. Children do not want grown men to get into their underpants and perform a sex dance.
They don't. And he was kind of slightly terrifying as well. He was a bit full on. Do you not think so, Heather?
Oh, yeah. I mean, personally, I wouldn't watch that. I mean, I don't care what he does, but I wouldn't watch that.
But what about
why is that dude in his tighty whiteies? Because pride these days is disgusting. That's why.
Why would a child want to see it? I definitely wouldn't want to see it.
Nobody was forcing those children to be there.
Hang on a second.
They haven't just walked.
Just to spoil it for you, this person not once blames the guy doing it or blames the organization for allowing this shit to happen. Not once.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Those children do not know what's going on. They need a responsible adult to look after them. Everybody knows that children are incapable, too immature to make decisions of their own. Ergo, somebody's brought them along to watch twerking in your underpants.
So where were their responsible adults?
I've no idea.
Very good question.
It seems to me that the people that you should be concerned about, and rightfully concerned about, and talk to, are the
But Heather, no mention. I've seen this before. I can tell you for a fact. No mention, no blame put whatsoever to this guy dancing for kids in his underwear. Not a fucking peep about an organization that just allows that shit to happen nowadays. Nasty. Anyway, why I'm talking about this person is because she was on BBC News arguing with this person about this new ruling. So we're gonna see this person again. Did I call pride disgusting? Yeah, I know, I'm such a terrible person.
Let's get some reaction from Heather Herbert, a trans campaigner and former Labour candidate for the Scottish Parliament. Heather Herbert, thank you very much for joining us. What's your reaction to the ruling today?
Well, obviously I'm disappointed. No judge can tell me who I am.
Yeah, you're disappointed because you're not actually a woman, it turns out. I've seen bits of this. I watched some of Chud's stream yesterday. Like, it's very me is what's going on here.
If a judge was to tell you that you're not a woman, that you're a man, you would, it wouldn't change who you are. It wouldn't change how you feel.
Yeah, that's because she actually is a woman. You think people might dress up as toilet cubicles for trans pride? Maybe they should. Hey, listen, that'd be new. That'd be different.
And it feels just like we're following in the footsteps of Trump's America.
Why? Why do you say that? Because the judge was very quick to say that he understood how strongly people feel about this and pointed out that there are already provisions which do protect trans people from discrimination, victimisation and harassment.
There are, and those will mean that things won't really change very much. But it just feels very much like we're following Trump's America in that we're attacking minorities. At the moment, it's trans people, but it's been ethnic minorities, disabled people.
Yeah, we're already talking about stuff that's got fuck all to do with the actual thing. We have to compare it to Trump's America, start invoking racism and ableism and all this shit. Like, just talk about the thing. These people do anything they can to avoid talking about the actual subject. It's like kind of annoying to listen to sometimes.
Sorry, how is this an attack on anyone? It's just a clarification, surely, of what the word woman means in the Equality Act. And it cannot be mutually exclusive, can it, that protection is offered to women?
Yeah, we'll complain so much, by the way, that like people equate us with like pedophiles and shit. But then you'll go on like live TV to defend that fucking pride shit. It's so wild to me. It's like these people can't hear themselves when they talk. Maybe they can't.
In sex-based spaces, and trans people in appropriately safe spaces for them.
Well, I am a woman, so where do I fit in?
You know what I mean? It's just about Like, we have to make it about ourselves. I think it's a very toxic trait, personally. You should be able to argue this in the abstract, but instead you start making it about yourself. Because it might make the other person feel like a bit of a dick, arguing that you're not, in fact, a woman. But you weren't born female. You had to have a surgery to make you vaguely resemble a woman, which you still don't, like, visually or audibly. I don't know, man. Mary, that was a beautiful trans person expressing and exploring their queer identity and showing queer joy and letting children know it's okay to be queer and trans and brave and valid and brave. Nazi. Fair enough. I've been told. Listen, I've been told.
But according to this, are you a biological woman is what the law is asking.
Yes, exactly. So are you a woman? If a judge was to turn around and say...
What the fuck? Well, are you a woman? Man transvestigates actual woman. Nice. Nice.
To you, you're not a woman. Would that feel very much like you were under attack?
Well,
I think it would. I feel like I'm under attack.
Yeah, but no one was even... The rule isn't about you personally. Like, fuck me, man. This is, like, delusional. Actually delusional. And these are the kind of people. We need trans rights activists to stick up for us. These are the kind of people that show up to answer the call. They're all idiots. They all suck. I don't know why this person feels emboldened to do this.
So what extra provision would you like to see in response to this then? Because it was a unanimous and unambiguous ruling.
It is. We need a clarification on... We need clarification. I mean, it won't necessarily affect my day-to-day life. But it just feels like...
This is true. More people need to acknowledge this.
It is another attack on trans people.
There may have...
Scaremonger at its finest. Whilst this person has every right to their feelings, equating this to constant oppression is disingenuous. Yeah. I mean, what hardships is this person dealing with? Like, honestly. Oh, a ruling says you're not a woman anymore. You're still you. You still exist.
To be, though, don't you agree, a reversal in policy by local authorities, perhaps, who have not protected single-sex spaces based on biological sex until now?
I don't think so. I would hope not.
Why would you think not, when this ruling makes it clear that sex is binary and that sex is immutable?
But the judge was very clear that it doesn't affect toilets or changing rooms.
That's not...
I mean, the toilets and changing room thing, that's going to be up to the establishment. So I don't know, man. Like, it might. If someone, like, kicks you out of a bathroom, you probably have less of a case when it turns out that you're male and you're using a female toilet. But that depends on that even happening in the first place, you know?
How the group for Women Scotland are seeing it, they're saying that sex is real. Women can now feel safe that services and spaces designated for women are for women. And we're grateful to the court for this ruling. And the ruling is that woman means biological sex, the sex that you were observed to have at birth.
Yes, observed at birth. Thank you. Yes. You're not intersex. Trans people need to stop pretending that they're intersex. Assigned at birth is an intersex thing. Because occasionally... when someone was born kind of fucked up down there needs to be like surgery to like correct things, to make sure they can do things like piss, you know what I mean? But now we've co-opted it so that we can pretend that, oh, well, the doctor said that was my sex, but it's not really. But that's like bullshit. 99% of people plus, you weren't assigned sex, you were observed sex.
So are you saying that I can't participate in public life?
I'm not.
What? So were you saying I can't participate in public life? Why did she say anything close? What the fuck is going on here? She's gotten dumber with age, I guess. I say that. The previous clip was a lot more ridiculous.
The sex that you were observed to have at birth.
So are you saying that I can't participate in public life?
We need this person and Sophie Molly to run for Prime Minister. Listen, do you want to know the twist? This person and Sophie Molly are in like a polycule with another trans person. You see this? Can you see this? You see this thumbnail at the top left? Top right, sorry? There's the two of them together. You got Sophie Molly, you got Heather Herbert. They're in a polycule together. Amazing. Like what I think happened is, like Heather Herbert used to try and run for office and eventually gave up on that and then started pushing Sophie Molly as like her protege, as like the next candidate. But Sophie Molly was even worse. Like the way she acts on Twitter, like going after people constantly, like cry bullying, all this kind of shit that she did. Like absolute nuts. All these people are crazy.
So are you saying that I can't participate in public life?
I'm not saying anything at all. I'm asking you what you think this means from what the Supreme Court is.
What's going on here?
I'm not saying anything at all. I'm asking you what you think this means from what the...
What was that? One more time. I'm sorry. One more time on this. Extremely manipulative here. Yeah. They try and guilt trip people because they've got no arguments. These people are idiots.
I'm not saying anything at all. I'm asking you what you think this means from what the Supreme Court has said today.
What was that? I'm so confused. Emperor Palpatine lighting. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the Palpatine to Sophie Molly's Darth Vader. You know what I mean?
Today.
I think it makes no difference to how trans people will go about their day-to-day lives.
Then what's the problem?
Does it bring...
I agree, but what's the problem? Hang on.
Day-to-day lives.
Does it bring further clarity though over whether trans women should be in women's prisons or have access to refuges?
The autistic hand display of someone losing control of the combo. True. Hope you're good, Paggy.
So it does, but can I ask you a question? Would you think I should use a women's toilet?
See what I mean? They make it about themselves. It's easier to kind of talk about the shit in abstract versus when you're talking to someone. If they start making it about themselves, if you're then arguing against what they're saying, that kind of makes you look like a bit of a dick. This is like actually really quite toxic. Like this person, they're like, they try and be manipulative, but they're not intelligent enough to do so. It's quite a spectacle to watch.
It
isn't up to me to decide that. The law and it isn't up to me to decide that.
If that's what you're implying that I shouldn't, then that would mean I don't have any ability to be in public life at all. I can't.
What? Listen, people give me grief sometimes for rewinding. These people say so much stupid shit that I kind of have to. Sometimes I have to make sure that I heard correctly. Because the shit these people say is so dumb.
Up to me to decide that. The law and
So, not up to her to decide if that person can use a bathroom or a female bathroom.
It isn't up to me to decide that.
If that's what you're implying that I shouldn't.
So if I shouldn't use the women's toilet,
then that would mean I don't have any ability to be in public life. What
do you even say to that? What the fuck is going on? This is the caliber that we're talking about now. That article I read earlier, this person, Sophie Molly. This is the caliber of person. Who else? Fucking India Willoughby crashing out on Twitter. Katie Montgomery cancelling a stream, which, good, that person's a liar. This is the caliber. Anyone with half a brain is just kind of getting on with it. And all these fucking losers are like losing their shit over it. Making all these utter shit for brains arguments that make no sense. Desperately trying to get her to play along with the LARP, yeah. Well, that's been the whole thing. It used to be easy to get people to play along. Should we make a charity record? Listen, I'd love to do a collab with Sophie Molly. I think her dulcet tones would sound amazing over my my ambient guitar styles, you know what I mean? Who knew Palpatine was in a loving polycule with a beautiful trans woman? I'm so happy for that. Maybe they can explore their queer and autistic joy together. Listen, I don't know for a fact this person's autistic, although it's fairly apparent, I guess. Well, is it autism or something else? Who knows?
At all. I can't go to work because I can't go to work.
I can't go to work because I'm not allowed in a women's toilet. You know, there's another kind of toilet. Plenty of workplaces. There's yet another kind of toilet, that being like a disabled toilet, you know? Those are usually gender neutral. You could use that if you wanted. You seem like you're eligible for using a disabled toilet.
Because I can't, you're saying I can't use the loo while I'm at work.
It's all this like, oh, so you're saying this. Oh, so you're saying that. Oh, so you're saying I should kill myself. I'm like, no. They've got nothing. They've got nothing. You can't argue against this shit. That's why most of these people don't try. That's why most of these people avoid debate. That's why most of these people tell each other, oh, don't talk to this person or that person. It's because you can't argue with any of this shit. There isn't a way of making it work.
But the judge went very, very early on in the ruling, did say that transgender people still have legal protection from discrimination.
That's why I'm saying it won't make any difference on day-to-day life.
Then you are not.
But it won't make a difference to everyday life. But if you can't use the toilet anymore that you want to use and have to use a different toilet, you're not allowed in public life. Oh, it's so strange. So strange.
Concerned?
I'm not that concerned, no.
Okay. Heather Herbert.
It feels like we're heading towards Trump.
You're just trying to get rid of it. Nope, not that easy.
That concerned, no.
Okay. Heather Herbert.
I think she had to jump in there because she realized she blew this big time. Come on, Heather, you've got like 30 seconds. Salvage it. Come on. I believe in you.
It feels like we're heading towards Trump's America.
Well, you said that.
Oh no, we're just repeating the same soundbite. How nice. Person loves toilets. It's part of their identity. They have the right to simulate birth in a disabled toilet. Yeah, actually, fuck. Now I think about it, this person uses disabled toilets for questionable things. Maybe leave the disabled loo alone. Just go in the men's. It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry, you've said that a couple of times, but then have said that you think that this is going to be discriminatory, but have then said you don't think it's going to make any difference.
It feels
resorts to giving herself blackface in order to hide how masculine her face is. I mean, it doesn't make a difference what this person does, unfortunately. Listen, I'm not that blessed in the looks department either, I get it, but Jesus Christ, man. You've got nothing good to say. Why even go on this? Was she thinking that she could, like, get some support? Like, what did she think was going to happen here?
Feels like we're heading towards Trump's America. I don't think this particular ruling will make any difference to anybody's day-to-day life.
We appreciate you talking to us. Heather Herbert, thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Well, that was fun. Heather Herbert, ladies and gentlemen. With trans activists like these, the overturning of this ruling is due any day. Trans women will be 100% vindicated as the beautiful women they all are, this person included. We have top quality representation, so don't worry anyone. Don't worry anyone. India Willoughby is like crashing out hard. Badge of honor. There we go. Do I think my sex is technically straight male? Well, my sex is male and my sexuality is straight. Yeah, biological woman. She's not. This is just a lie. How can you be a biological woman and trans? If you're a trans man, it'd work, but this ain't no trans man. Nuts. Rent-free in a billionaire's head. This always means the opposite. J.K. Rowling probably forgot you exist fucking years ago, and you still think about her. So, I don't know, man. Are they a trans woman or a woman or what? This is a trans woman. India Willoughby was famous for the "I am a real woman" thing from Celebrity Big Brother. So I still have a few friends in national newsrooms. Since my career was destroyed just for being trans, I have no idea what that means. No idea. Like, she makes a twat out of herself on social media constantly. I think that's probably more of a concern to you than being trans, but okay. Obviously today, the UK Supreme Court's verdict is big news. Unfortunately, but not surprisingly, mainstream news see it as a celebratory happy story. A win for women's rights. Well, it is, kinda, right? Reasserting women's boundaries. Like, I think it kinda is. I'm not really celebrating myself, I'm just interested, but because there are no trans people in newsrooms, well, there's hardly any of us to begin with. What do you expect? And they have no understanding about what it's all really about or what the background is. They take what they read about bad trans people from BBC News and The Times. Like, BBC News? at face value, like, rent-free in a billionaire's head, that being J.K. Rowling. But you're the one talking about her. When was the last time J.K. Rowling mentioned fucking India Willoughby? And said, excuse me, I've just looked at JKR's Twitter over the last few days. Have you seen the tweets she's been sending out? My friend scrolled through a few, read them out. Taunting, horrible transphobia. Not showing any examples. But the news editor just didn't want to know, even though it was all right in front of her face. Well, it's not news. J.K. Rowling has been going at it with TRAs for fucking years. That's not news. What do you expect? My friend texted me earlier to say she's had to leave the office for a few moments because she's so upset about the way normal journalistic routine standards about balance and reporting the truth are just being ignored on this. I don't think that's true at all, but okay. I see a lot of media liberals who can't stand trans people also hate the fact they're on the same page as Donald Trump, are desperate to distance themselves from yesterday's grotesque champagne celebrations of the destruction of a tiny minority's rights. What destruction of what rights? Trans people are still protected. Like, what the fuck is... What the fuck are you talking about? I don't like Donald Trump. I don't care that I agree with him on certain things. That's normal. Most people agree with other people on certain things. That's fine. Who gives a shit? Who are you talking about? Name names, bitch. Anyway, hang on. Let's see what this very beautiful biological woman has to say here.
Hi everybody, Real Woman here.
Real woman, like, if you have to say that, there's probably something wrong. This is the same thing I have to say about, like, all of the biological, adult human female stuff that Posey Parker wears constantly. It kind of seems like she's a bit insecure about it. This person is way more insecure about it, though, because he's a man.
Albeit now illegal in the UK.
No, you're legally male in the UK because you're a man. Illegal in the UK. I wish you were illegal. That's a joke.
Following yesterday's ludicrous and evil decision by the corrupt UK Supreme Court.
Bear in mind, this person is like in his 50s or something. Like, this is the most childish shit.
To no longer legally recognise trans women. That's what it basically amounts.
That's not true. So why is gender reassignment still a protected characteristic? You're just not recognised as women. That's not no longer being recognised. This person's just lying.
And the crazy thing is, I could jump on an aeroplane in the next few hours and fly to a progressive country, Spain, Germany, France, literally anywhere in Europe apart from Hungary.
Or Poland or Latvia or Russia, but okay.
And I would instantly regain that status as a real legal woman.
It's almost like all of this is, like, I don't know what they're going to say. It's almost like all of this is subjective. Whether a trans woman or a woman is a woman or not is completely subjective. So yeah, it might well vary from place to place. Your sex is not subjective. It exists. You are male. Why were you born with a penis? I thought this person was like, I think she was kind of sensible about 5 years ago. But she's just gone off the fucking chain. Just lost her shit.
Which I am, biologically and materially.
Yeah, actual women don't need to say this constantly, just saying. This decision was a real kick in the balls for trans women. Good to see you, Grief Foundation.
Am a woman, and nobody can ever take that away from me.
Apart from, legally you're not in this country. So, I don't know, bro.
However, if I travel to a backward country, such as Donald Trump's United States or Keir Starmer's United Kingdom, then I instantly lose that status. Yesterday's win at the UK Supreme Court was a victory for bigotry, and they haven't missed a beat. Already today in the news, they're calling on football to ban trans players on the back.
What's bigoted about that? You had, like, Riley Dennis or whatever, Riley J. Dennis going to Australia and, like, breaking women's legs playing football with them. Contact sports don't make much sense to allow trans women in with women. Not at all. Like, I was reading, what was it? Something about, like, Q angles. Women are much more likely to get, like, knee injuries, stuff like that. Or Serbia, Bosnia, Lithuania, Albania. It's like, yeah, true. There's a lot of places. Like, Eastern Europe in general. a lot more conservative than like Western Europe.
Back of yesterday's decision, they're calling on the NHS to bring in trans apartheid so that
what the fuck does that mean? You might have to be in with male patients. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know about anyone else. I actually truly don't care about this whole thing. Because if I had to go into hospital and be around other people, my headphones are going to be in all the time because I cannot deal with like other people's noises. Like, so I don't give a shit. Put me in with the men, put me in the women. I don't fucking care. As long as people leave me alone.
Trans patients are segregated. I guess on the...
And they're not even segregated. They're just put in with like the people of their sex. So that's not even segregation. All this person does is lie.
The inference that trans people are inherently dangerous or just yucky.
No one's saying any of that. We watched the decision. We already know that none of this is true.
So this is going to ripple out, and it's going to have repercussions everywhere. But
scaremongering, and also this person's rich, they're privileged, they can go fly out anywhere else. Sexual orientation is about sex, so Mary's a male attracted to female. Yeah. I'm happy to be described as a straight guy. You can call me that. I don't give a shit. 100%. I'll even call myself a man, fuck it. People sometimes think it's cool to like put comments on my video being like, oh, you're a bloke in it. It's like, literally, I admit to being a bloke like all the fucking time. Why don't you actually watch my stuff? You might actually agree with more than you think you do. Dipshit. Anyway.
The other thing that I want to mention very quickly.
India Willoughby is the worst of jump scares. Listen, this person at least actually makes an effort. I think the blonde hair looks a bit ridiculous on like a 50-something plastic surgery'd up. Like, you're not a footballer's wife. You never will be. This looks a bit ridiculous. But hey, at least they make an effort. If I saw this person in the female toilet, I'm sure plenty of people probably wouldn't look twice. But then this person's rich, so they can afford this kind of shit.
I've just heard a clip on Twitter from the...
So what you have basically is a rich elite trans person scaremongering all the little trans people that don't have the opportunity to fly to Spain or whatever the fuck. How nice. How nice. Nice pink nails, by the way.
Presenter Emily Maitlis on the Newsagents podcast saying, oh, this isn't about not liking trans women. It's just in case a man might dress up and come in a loo and attack somebody. Well, look...
Here's the thing with that. If a man does decide to go into a woman's toilet and gets caught, he has the potential defense of like, well, I identify as a woman. I'm supposed to be in here. Like, I don't look like one, but I identify as one. And people will say the opposite. Oh, well, trans men are going to have to go in the women's now. Well, first off, that's not even true because no one gives a fuck about male spaces anyway. And trans men are more likely to pass. And if you pass, you're probably going to be fine anyway. But like, second off, people make those arguments whilst also saying that this argument is niche and would never happen. Unfortunately, it has happened. Sorry, but this South African can't see how it's apartheid. Yeah, this is the thing. These people say this shit having never experienced any of it. And then people from those fucking countries listen to this shit and is like, what are you talking about? Absolutely nuts. That require you to know if people are transitioned before they go to school so you can put them in the Bantu school. Yeah, exactly. But these people are ignorant. They don't know fuck all. Also, hi, Christian van Schalkweek. Hope you're good. Sorry if I said your name wrong.
Emily, that just doesn't happen. They don't need to.
That doesn't happen. It does. What did we look up? If you look up, there was a news article which had like 6 examples of men dressing up as women. Yeah, it was a Daily Signal article, and obviously bias, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, you've got someone called Richard Rendler, you've got someone called Gregorio Hernandez, you've got someone called Jason Pomare, Christopher Hambrook, spying incidents in Virginia Walmarts and a mall, and someone in Seattle. If you look up some of those names, those are people that have in fact pretended to be women in order to harm women in bathrooms. Am I straight in the woke way or in the biological way? In the biological way. If we're being woke, I'm a lesbian, but I'm not a lesbian because I'm not female.
And secondly, it's not that long ago that planes were being blown up, predominantly by Muslims. Now, I would be astonished that you would make the argument that you're making here about trans people, about Muslims. Oh,
What argument are you talking about? What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. Like, she has lost her fucking mind. I guess that happened a long time ago.
Well, it's not that we don't like Muslims or anything like that, but...
Like, he hasn't listened to the reading. He hasn't listened to the verdict. Just don't listen to anything and then just pop off. It's ridiculous.
A bad one might get on an aircraft.
Yeah, they fucking... What did they do in the wake of all of that? They, like, locked the pilot fucking cockpit doors and stuff so that no one can get in there anymore. They, like, acted on it. There's problems with our laws where trans rights and women's rights kind of clash and the definition of woman doesn't make a huge amount of sense. So they've clarified it. Trans people still have protections as gender reassignment. This doesn't make any sense.
And they might blow up the plane, and that's why we're going to have to ban all Muslims from flying.
That is not a good analogy. That makes no sense. What have they banned trans people from? I don't think there's still even any laws about which toilets like trans women can go into. Certain spaces might be more difficult to access now. Well, you're not a woman, so I don't know, man. That's just how it is. You enjoyed some privileges that have now been rolled back a little bit. And we're like scaremongering over this. It's kind of pathetic.
It just doesn't wash. What would you call somebody making that argument?
Retarded.
And what should you call somebody making that argument?
Retarded.
That very same argument about trans people.
Well, no one is, so I don't know, man. What is this eye shape? What has she done to her face? Can you see this eye shape? It's like we start off like Asian and then get more white as we go out. Like, what is this? Is there a filter on, or is this like dodgy fucking FFS? There we go. India Willoughby having a meltdown over all this. It's still going. It's still going. 2 hours. Bunch of traitors. Jesus Christ. Absolutely nuts. A Labour MP. Yeah, believe it or not, plenty of gender critical people are like centrist or lean left. Oh no, Owen Jones won't vote Labour. He wasn't voting Labour anyway, but okay. Aidan Comerford, absolute moron. Get yourselves off this platform. I mean, listen, there's at least practical advice from this Narinder Kaur person. Like, if you're that triggered by all this shit, then yeah, you should get off, like, Twitter or whatever. It's her VE day. She gets so fucking baited. And then claims J.K. Rowling is, like, rent-free in J.K. Rowling's head. But we keep talking about J.K. Rowling. We've got Sturgeon is a hero to trans people. The UK's most prominent trans campaigner, India Willoughby, on self-ID, death threats, and J.K. Rowling. Everything about this person's thing, her presence on the internet, is like obsessing over J.K. Rowling. Fucking hell. Anyway, that's Indian Willy Boy, whatever his name is. I'm sorry, that's mean. Yeah, I'll read this quickly. Is it? Yeah, it's centered. So I've got opinion. Trans women are women, wherever the Supreme Court says. I skimmed this and it's a bit nuts. There's a lot of problems. Listen, if you've got an alcoholic beverage, feel free to drink whenever there's some kind of bastardization of the English language, despite this person being English. Drink every time there's brackets. You can already see several cases. Don't actually do those things. You might die. Please don't. Make sure you like the stream, though. If you like the stream, make sure you like the stream. All right, so we've got on the 16th April, the Supreme Court made a landmark ruling on the definition of what a woman is in UK legislation. This is something I've had, should that be? This is something I had on my radar for quite a while. This ruling originates from an appeal from the Scottish courts on trans women with a gender recognition certificate would count towards quotas for women holding positions in public office. Okay, honest enough, fair enough. I think it's a bit messed up. You can have males filling women quotas. It's a bit messed up, is it not? That simple case, which was supporting trans women as women prior to this appeal to the Supreme Court, has now mutated into the, with this ruling, Full-blown removal of the rights of transgender women as women. Oh man. Transgender people, women, men, and non-binary people, are still protected from discrimination stemming from their gender reassignment. Okay, so their rights aren't fully being removed. And can't be just from a ruling anyway, because businesses are gonna feel differently. It's gonna depend who you're dealing with, etc., etc. However, discrimination stemming from their gender reassignment. However, a major implication of this ruling is that trans women can be excluded from same-sex spaces. Well, I mean, they can be anyway. Such as change. Oh, there's an open bracket but not a closed bracket. No one fucking proofread this shit. Such as changing rooms or restrooms if there is a justifying reason, such as them being male and causing distress to females. You want to see the sweaty? Oh yeah, yeah. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, I need to check in on some of those people more often. This is too funny. It's too funny. These people want to mess with me, and then when I look into them, they're the dumbest fucking people on earth. It's so funny. This implication, which is not the only one, mind you, threatens the entire public life of a transgender person. Like, how so? To be honest, it's hilarious. Why I side with Richard Dawkins refuses to validate the trans religion. Well, yeah, I mean, it's we want to push back against like Christianity because it's about like unfalsifiables. It's about God existing. Well, how do you see God? How do you perceive God? You kind of can't. But yeah, when it comes to things like gender identity and stuff, and like social sex or whatever the fuck we're calling it, like suddenly we're all aboard. It doesn't make sense. Like Richard Dawkins and people like that, they're being like consistent with their like skeptical position. But then we've even convinced people that actually the skeptical position is to be pro-trans or something. Nuts. Transgender people, men, women, wait. Oh no, I already read this bit, sorry. This reason means we, trans women, must now fear whether or not leaving the home and needing to use either a toilet or other facility could lead to us being physically or verbally assaulted. I mean, that could happen anywhere at any time anyway, and could happen to cis people, but sure. It could lead to us being banned from places we need to go, like shopping centers or gyms. Like, if we're talking in isolation, then like literally how? Who was that saying? Women only, female only shopping centers. Hey, maybe there are. Maybe there should be. I don't know. Jesus Christ. The radio program that, yes, this is one of those people. And the room was just a swath of male body odor and they were dripping wet talking about dumb shit. Oh my God, I don't know if I have time, but these people are like insane to me. There's the older one that like, she'll do these like video blogs or whatever, like with the camera set up, just like a bra, and then like the gunt hanging out, and like a top, be that, oh, ducks, I'm a woman, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. This reason means we did this, so could lead to us being banned from places we need to go, like shopping centers or gyms. Literally how? It could lead to us being humiliated by being marched out of a restroom, or worse yet, even worrying about being arrested depending on how this is enforced. Well, I mean, wouldn't you have to do something to be arrested for? If you get caught trespassing and you are removed from that place, are you necessarily getting arrested? You might get like fined or something. I think it really depends on the situation. And if you're doing anything to warrant getting arrested, then that's a problem in and of itself. This doesn't protect any woman, or I think anyone that's actually had bad experiences in women's only spaces with men would disagree, but okay. This ruling endangers a tiny subgroup of women, aka men, who are already incredibly marginalized and at risk of violence and sexual assault. Over the past day, this ruling has been announced. No one proofreads this shit. Over the past day, this ruling has been announced. End sentence. I might find some of the videos, but like, I don't know. I'm kind of wary how much to like shit on those people, because they're like They have much smaller channels. I don't know. It risks becoming petty because I have a personal issue with this person, you know what I mean? But at the same time, they're like so dumb, it's funny. I have seen, okay, so end sentence. This is meant to be a comma. I have seen pretty much all of the transgender community and support pages and online friends who are trans pour their hearts out about how distressed this announcement has made them. Well, you're all consuming all kinds of scaremongering shit, much like this. So it's no wonder. Perhaps if you had more people sort of telling trans people, this probably won't actually affect your life that much. Things might be a bit adverse in certain ways. You might not have the same privileges that you've enjoyed in recent times. But like life goes on, you know what I mean? Like things would probably be better. But we have people like this who are freaking out and want other people to freak out with them because they're pissed off that legally they're not a woman anymore. Well, you never were a woman, I'm sorry. You're as much of a woman as I am, and I ain't a fucking woman, so sorry about it. We're not a group of monsters or wolves in sheep's clothing, capitalized for some reason, like the media and so-called gender-critical lobby groups like to portray us as. We are less than 1% of the UK population who have had a bigger and bigger target placed on our backs for more than a decade. How much of this is due to activist retards just like you? Again, the implications of this court ruling are not completely understood or played out at this point, but I thought earlier it was like, this means that you might be like frog marched. This means that you might be like assaulted. I don't know. Over the coming months, there is likely going to be many court cases. Do you mean there are? Jesus Christ. Do you think he used ChatGPT to write some of this? I doubt it. I think ChatGPT understands English better than this person. Like, I know who this person is, and they're dumb as fuck. So I think this is probably handwritten. And also a lot of these like leftist, like trans types, they're very firmly against AI. But hey, you never know. There is likely going to be many court cases where trans-exclusive policies for employers and trans clients alike are going to have to play out to understand... I'm so confused. Hang on, let me try this sentence again. Jesus Christ. Over the coming months, there are likely going to be many court cases where trans-exclusive policies for employers and trans clients alike are going to have to play out to understand just how exclusive this is. I don't even know what that means. Which will likely mean the government too will have to step in to offer some more clarity regarding this. Yes, we need more clarity on whether women in fact does mean adult human female, I agree. There's not enough clarity, it's just not obvious enough yet, we need more. I mean, trans-exclusive policies by employers, like, what are we expecting here when trans is still a protected characteristic? Like, you can't be quoted in as a woman anymore when you're a man. Like, well, that shouldn't have been happening in the first place, surely. In the meantime, the transgender, wider queer, and communities of our friends, family, and allies must come together to be ready to fight these individual cases and pressure the government and public places to accept trans people. For any trans person, or again ally, reading this, I urge you as much as you can to help as much as you can in the following ways. Write to your local MP to be supportive of support... Sorry, let me try that again. Write to your local MP to be supported of supporting trans people. To be supported of supporting trans people, okay? It seems a bit fruitless some of the time, but we need to pressure our MPs at this time that they need to support transgender people. Get involved in a trade union. No one cares about trade unions anymore. I'm sorry. This is like... Only leftists talk about fucking trade unions. No one cares about them anymore. I'm sorry. Thatcher happened. They never came back the way they used to be. They may never. Regardless of your industry, this can help safeguard transgender employees, client/customer singular, students, patients, and more ways in which trans people come into contact with your industry and need to be protected by company policy. I mean, they still can't discriminate against trans people, so I don't know about that, bro. There is a difference between fighting for the right to not be mistreated or discriminated against for being trans and trying to obtain the sex-based rights of half the human population you want. I agree. I think we're going way too far, you know what I mean? I seek support of being supported as I support those who support trans people. The implications are terrible, but we don't know yet what the implications are, but it's probably really bad. Holy shit. Again, transgender people are a tiny part of the population. However, if every trans person in the country can rely on at least some of their friends and family networks to stand up for them, well, what about trans people that get cancelled by other trans people? Do you not think those people need support? You're the kind of person that does that, so I'm guessing not. Anyway. And the wider queer community, that tiny voice will be amplified into extremely powerful force. I mean, Jesus Christ. You all been saying all this kind of shit for years now, and it kind of seems like it was powerful at one point, and it's fallen flat now. Now is the time to get organised at grassroots level. Yes, get organised. Let's just all get organised. If we all get organised, then we'll save the transes or something. Again, these people talk about all this like organisation shit. None of them like have a clue what they're talking about. None of them have any ideas. They're all full of shit. None of them know what they're talking about at all. Now is the time to get organised at grassroots level, whether it be mutual aid groups, groups to organise sit-ins of places that refuse trans people to use their restrooms. Yes, that's going to help people come round to the idea that men should be women. Fucking sitting in places that stick up for like biological sex. Are you not just going to piss more people off potentially? Oh wait, some of us have been saying this about these trans activist retards for fucking years. And you all don't listen, so I don't know. And many more ideas, which we're not going to spell out. We will resist this rising tide of trans hate and antagonism. Trans women were women yesterday, and we are still women tomorrow. See, that's the crux of it. It's just, trans women are women. That's all you got. That's all you fucking got. It's nonsense. How are you a woman? What makes you a woman? What is the difference between a trans woman and a woman? You can't fucking answer. So yeah, there we go. Director of Trans Pride. That's the quality of human being. That's the caliber that is directing like fucking pride events. Absolutely cringe. Terrible. Please, in common, invest in a proofreader. That was borderline unintelligible. And this person's a moron. All this bed blob does is sit and be retarded. What's new? Hey, listen. Next 10 minutes, I am doing a sit-in, a sit-down, and a sit-straight in support of Mary. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. There should be more sit-ins in support of me.